Hello, Shalom. Welcome to day 62 of the Daily Bread. We'll be reading in Exodus 23, 1 Samuel 23, Psalms 67 and 68, Proverbs 31, and Job 5. Let's get started, okay? Exodus, we'll be reading out of the scriptures, 2009. Exodus 23 on page 81. And do not bring a false report. Do not put your hand with the wrong to be a malicious witness. Do not follow a crowd to do evil, nor bear witness in strife, so as to turn aside after many, to turn aside what is right. And do not favor a poor man in his strife. When you meet your enemy's ox or his donkey going astray, you shall certainly return it to him. When you see the donkey of him who hates you lying under its burden, you shall refrain from leaving it to him. You shall certainly help him. Do not turn aside the right ruling of your poor in his strife. Keep yourself far from a false matter, and do not kill the innocent and the righteous, for I do not declare the wrong right. Do not take a bribe, for a bribe blinds the seeing one and twists the words of the righteous. And do not oppress the sojourner, as you yourselves know the heart of a sojourner, because you were sojourners in the land of Mizraim. And for 6 years you are to sow your land, and shall gather its increase. But the 7th year you are to let it rest, and shall leave it. And the poor of your people shall eat, and they shall leave the beasts of the field to eat. Do the same with your vineyard and your olive yard. 6 days are you to do your work, and on the 7th day you rest, in order that your ox and your donkey might rest, and the son of your female servant and the sojourner be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, take heed, and make no mention of the name of the other mighty ones. Let it not be heard from your mouth. 3 times in a year you are to celebrate a festival to me. Guard the festival of Matzah. 7 days you eat unleavened bread, as I command you, at the appointed time in the new moon of Abib. For in it you came out of Mizraim. And do not appear before me empty-handed. And the festival of harvest, Shavuot, the first fruits of your labors, which you have sown in the field, and the festival of ingathering, Sukkot, festival of booths, at the outgoing of the year, when you are gathered in the fruit of your labors in the field. 3 times a year all your males are to appear before the Master Yahweh. Do not shed the blood of my slaughterings with leavened bread, and the fat of my festival shall not remain until morning. Bring the first of the first fruits of your land into the house of Yahweh as your Elohim. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. See, I am sending a messenger, capital M, before you to guard you in the way and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Be on guard before him, is capitalized, and before his voice. Do not rebel against him, for he is not going to pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. But if you diligently obey his voice, and shall do all that I speak, then I shall be an enemy to your enemies, and a distresser to those who distress you. For my messenger shall go before you, and shall bring you in to the Amorites, and the Hittites, and the Perizzites, and the Canaanites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, and I shall cut them off. Do not bow down to their mighty ones, nor serve them, nor do according to their works. But without fail overthrow them, and without fail break down their pillars. And you shall serve Yahweh your Elohim, and he shall bless your bread and your water, and I shall remove sickness from your midst. None should miscarry, or be barren in your land. I shall fill the number of your days. I shall send my fear before you, and cause confusion among all the people to whom you come, and make all your enemies turn their backs to you. And I shall send hornets before you, which shall drive out the Hittites, the Kenites, the Hittites from before you. I shall not drive them out from before you in 1 year, lest the land become a waste, and the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. Little by little I shall drive them out from before you, and until you have increased and you inherit the land. And I shall set your border from the Sea of Reeds to the Sea of the Philistines, and from the wilderness of the river, for I shall give the inhabitants of the land into your hand, and you shall drive them out before you. Do not make a covenant with them, nor with their mighty ones. Let them not dwell in your land, lest they make you sin against me when you serve their mighty ones, when it becomes a snare to you. Samuel 23 on page 305. And they informed David, saying, See, the Philistines are fighting against Keilah, and they are plundering the threshing floor. So David inquired of Yahweh, saying, Shall I go and strike these Philistines? And Yahweh said to David, Go and smite the Philistines and save Keilah. And David's men said to him, See, we are here in Judah afraid. How much more then if we go to Keilah against the armies of the Philistines? And David inquired of Yahweh once again, and Yahweh answered him and said, Arise and go to Keilah, for I am giving the Philistines into your hand. So David and his men went to Keilah and fought for the Philistines, and he led away their livestock and struck them. A great smiting, that David saved the inhabitants of Keilah. And it came to be when Abiathar, son of Amalek, fled to David at Keilah, that he went down with a shoulder garment in his hand. And Shaul was informed that David had gone to Keilah. Then Shaul said, Elohim has estranged him into my hand, for he has shut himself in by entering a town that has gates and bars. And Shaul summoned all the people to battle, to go to Keilah, to besiege David and his men. And David knew that Shaul was plotting evil against them, and said to Abiathar the priest, Bring the shoulder garment here. And David said, O Yahweh, Elohim of Israel, your servant has heard for certain that Shaul seeks to come to Keilah to destroy the city for my sake. And the landowners of Keilah going to surrender me into into his hand? Is Shaul coming down as your servant has heard. O Yahweh Elohim of Israel, I pray, let your servant know. And Yahweh said, He is coming down. And David said, Are the landowners of Keilah going to surrender me and my men into the hand of Shaul? And Yahweh said, They are going to surrender to you. Ooh, doo, doo. Then David and his men, about 600, arose and left Keilah and went wherever they could. And Shaul was informed that David had escaped from Keilah, and he had ceased to go out. And David remained in the wilderness and strongholds, and remained in the hill country of the wilderness of Zeph. And Shaul sought him every day, but Elohim did not give him into his hand. And David saw that Shaul had come out to seek his life, while David was in the wilderness of Ziph at Horesh. And Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David at Horesh, and strengthened his hand in Elohim, and said to him, Do not fear, for the hand of Shaul my father is not going to find you, and you are to reign over Israel, and I am to be next to you. Even my father Shaul knows that. And they made a covenant before Yahweh, and David remained at Horesh while Jonathan went to his own house. And the Ziphites came up to Shaul at Gibeah, saying, Is David not hiding with us in strongholds, Horesh, in the hills of Halak, which is on the south of the wasteland? And now, O sovereign, by all the desire of your being, come down, and our part is to surrender him into the sovereign's hand. And Shaul said, Blessed are you of Yahweh, for you have sympathy with me. Please go, prepare yet further, and find out and see the place where his hideout is. Who has seen him there? For I am told that he is very cunning. So look and learn all about the hiding places where he hides, and you shall come back to me with certainty. Then I shall go with you, and it shall be, if he is in the land, that I shall search for him throughout all the clans of Judah. And they rose up and went to Ziph before Shaul, while David and his men were in the wilderness of Mahan, on the desert plain on the south of the wasteland. And Shaul and his men went to seek him, and they informed David, so he went down to the rock and remained in the wilderness of Mahan. And when Shaul heard this, he pursued David in the wilderness of Mahan. And Shaul went on one side of the mountain, and David and his men on the other side of the mountain. And David was hurrying to get away from Shaul, for Shaul and his men were surrounding David and his men to take them. Then a messenger came to Shaul, saying, Hurry and come, for the Philistines have invaded the land. So Saul turned back from pursuing David and went against the Philistines. Therefore they called that place Selah Hamlakuth. And David went up from there and remained in strongholds at Engedi. Psalms 67 and 68. This will be a long part here. On page 682 and 683. 67. Elohim does favor us and bless us. Cause his face to shine upon us. Salah. For your way to be known on earth, your deliverance among all nations. Let the peoples praise you, O Elohim. Let all the peoples praise you. Let the nations be glad and sing for joy. For you judge the peoples uprightly, and lead the nations on earth. Salah. Let the people praise you, O Elohim. Let all the people praise you. The earth shall give her increase. Elohim, her own Elohim. Elohim our own Elohim blesses us. Elohim blesses us, and all the ends of the earth fear him. 68. Elohim arises, his enemies are scattered, and those who hate him flee before him. As smoke is driven away, you drive them away. As wax melts before the fire, the wrong perish before Elohim. But the righteous are glad. They exult before Elohim, and they rejoice with gladness. Sing to Elohim and sing praises to his name. Raise up a highway for him. Who rides through the deserts? By his name, Yah, and exalt before him. Father of the fatherless and right ruler of widows. Is Elohim in his set-apart dwelling? Elohim makes a home for the lonely. He brings out the prosperity. Those who are bound with chains, only the rebellious shall dwell in a dry land. O Elohim, when you went out before your people, when you stepped through the wilderness, Salah, the earth shook and the heavens dropped before Elohim. This Zion shook before Elohim, the Elohim of Israel. You, O Elohim, sent a shower of plenty. You confirmed your inheritance when it was weary. Your flock dwelt in it. You provided from your goodness for the poor, O Elohim. Yahweh gave the word. The women who proclaimed it was a great company. Sovereigns of armies flee in haste, and she who remains at home divides the spoil. If you lie down, the sheepfolds, the wings of a dove are covered with silver, and her pinions with yellow gold. When the Almighty scatter, when the Almighty scattered sovereigns in it, it did snow in Samam, a mountain of Elohim and the mountain of Bashin. The mountain of peaks is the mountain of Bashin. A mountain of peaks. Why do you gaze in envy at the mountain which Elohim desired to dwell in it? Yahweh even dwells there forever. The chariots of Elohim are 20,000, thousands of thousands. Yahweh came to Zion, into the set-apart place. You have ascended on high. You have led captivity captive. You have received gifts among men, and even the rebellious. The Yah Elohim might dwell there. Blessed be Yahweh Elohim. Day by day, he bears our burdens. The El of our deliverance, Salah. Our El is the El of deliverance, and to Yahweh the Master escapes from death. Indeed, Elohim smites the head of his enemies, the hairy scalp of him who walks about his guilt. Yahweh said, I bring back from Bashin, I bring back from the depths of the sea, so that you plunge your foot in blood, that the tongues of your dogs have the portion from their enemies. They have seen your goings, O Elohim, the goings of my El, my sovereign, into the set-apart place. The singers went out front, the players on instruments after them. Among them were the young women or maidens playing tambourines. Bless Elohim in the assemblies, Yahweh from the fountains of Israel. There is Benjamin, the smallest, their ruler, the leaders of Judah, their company, the leader of Zebulun, the leader of Naphtali. Your Elohim has commanded your strength be strong, O Elohim. You have worked out for us because of your hekel at Jerusalem. Sovereigns bring presents to you. Rebuke the wild beasts of the reeds, the herds of bulls with the calves of people, each one humbling himself with pieces of silver. Scatter the people who delight in the conflicts. Ambassadors come out of Mizraim. Cush stretches out her hands to Elohim. Sing to Elohim, you reign of the earth. Praise to Yahweh Salah, to him who rides on ancient highest heavens. See, he sends out his voice, a mighty voice. Ascribe strength to Elohim. His excellence is over Israel, and his strength is in the clouds. O Elohim, awesome from your set apart places. The El of Israel is he who gives strength and power to his people. Blessed be Elohim. Proverbs 31 on page 751. The words of Sovereign Lemuel, a message which his mother taught him. What, my chosen, and what chosen of my womb, and what chosen of my vows? Do not give your strength to women, nor ways to wiping away sovereigns. Not for sovereigns, O Lemuel, not for sovereigns to drink wine, not for princes to drink strong drink. Lest they drink and forget what is inscribed, and pervert the right of all the afflicted. Give strong drink to him who is perishing, the wine to those in being. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his trouble no more. Open your mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all the sons of the departed. Open your mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who does find a capable wife? For she is worth far more than rubies. The heart of her husband shall trust her, and he has no lack of gain. She shall do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She shall seek wool and flax, and with delight she works with her hands. She shall be a ship of the merchant. She brings in her food from afar. She also arises while it is still night, and provides food for her household, and what is lawful for her girls. She shall consider the field and buy it. From her profits she shall plant a vineyard. She shall gird herself with strength, and strengthen her arms. She shall taste when her gain is good. Her lamp does not go out by night. She shall stretch out her hands to the distaff, and her hand shall hold the spindle. She shall extend her hand to the poor, and she shall reach out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow, for all her household is dressed in scarlet. And she shall make tapestry for herself. She is dressed in fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates. When he sits among the elders of the land, she shall make fine linen and sell them, and shall give girdles for the merchants. Strength and splendor are her garments, and she rejoices in time to come. She shall open her mouth with wisdom, and on her tongue of the Torah is the Torah of loving commitment. She watches over the ways of her household, and does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children shall rise up and call her blessed, her husband too, and he praises her. Many daughters have done nobly, but you have risen above all. Loveliness is deceptive, and prettiness is vain. A woman who fears Yahweh is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Job 5 on page 781. Call out, please. Is there anyone to answer you? And to which of the set apart ones would you turn? For wrath kills the fool, and envy slays the simple. I myself have seen the fool taking root, but suddenly his home was cursed. His sons are far from safety. They are crushed in the gate, with no one to deliver. The hungry eat up his harvest, taking even from the thorns, and the snare snaps from their wealth. For evil does not come from the dust, nor does trouble spring from the ground. For man is born for trouble, and the sparks fly upward. But as for me, I seek El, and I would submit my case before Elohim, who is doing great and unsearchable deeds, innumerous wonders, who is giving rain on the earth's face, and is sending waters on the field's face, to set the lonely on high, and those who mourn shall be lifted to safety, thwarting the schemes of the crafty, so that their hands do not work effectively, catching the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of schemers are swept away. By day they encounter darkness, and at noon they grope as in the night. But he saves the needy from the sword of their mouth, from the clutches of the strong. Thus the poor have expectancy, and unrighteousness shouts, and unrighteousness shuts her mouth. Look, blessed is the man who Ella does reprove. So do not despise the discipline of the Almighty. For he bruises, but he binds up. He smites, but his hands heal. In 6 distresses he delivers you, and in 7 no evil strikes you. In scarcity of food he shall redeem you from death, and in battle from the power of the sword. When the tongue scourges you or shield it, you have no fear when destruction comes. At destruction and at starvation you laugh, and you have no fear of the beasts of the earth. For your covenant is with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with you. And you shall know that your tent is in peace, and shall visit your tent and not sin. And shall know that your seed are many, and your offspring like the grass of the earth. You shall come to the burial site in ripe old age, like the stacking of grain in its season. Look, this is we have searched out. It is so. Hear it and know for yourself. Thank you. Shalom. Make it a great day. Read your Bible. Talk to the Father.